Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, back again with another repair video for you. Behind me, a 2005 Acura RL. Yes, it's fancy, but it has come to my shop today because it has a bunch of lights on the dash, which unfortunately aren't on right now. In fact, I took it on a test drive and found out that these lights would come on intermittently. Every once in a while, they just come on the dash, and the lights that are illuminated are the super handling all-wheel drive, I believe the VSA light, and also the ABS light. I believe all of these things are connected. Before I get there, I did take it on a test drive, as I said, just to see if there were any symptoms that were associated with these lights. What I noticed was I stopped someplace, turned the car off, I drove up to the store, and when I was at the store, I went to leave and started the car and went to take the car out of park, and it would not come out of park. And a little light bulb went off inside my head, and I said, aha, well, maybe I already know what the problem is. My wife was with me, so I said, hey, can you check to see if the brake lights are working? And I hit the brakes, and she said the lights aren't coming on. So I have a pretty good feeling that the code that I'm going to find has something to do with the brake light switch input. Without the brake light switch input, all those other components, all those other systems that I mentioned, all get information from the brake light switch to tell if you are on the brakes or not. So if that's not functioning, then it will set that code. So that's just my suspicion based on past experience and things, but why don't we just plug in the Encore and pull the codes and see what we can find out. Okay, I'm just going to take the data link connector, plug it in. One thing I like about these RLs, I'm going to turn the key on now, is it doesn't actually have a key. In fact, these are cool to where you just have to have the key near the car and it'll turn on. It does have an actual key if you need it, but with these cars it's all fancy electronics. Now that I have that, I'm going to pull the vehicle up. Yes, this tool may be slow. If you've seen my review on it, I'll post a link in the description, but it's very capable. You may have to wait for a little bit, but I have access to all the systems. Since so many systems are affected on this, I'm just going to do all system DTC scan. So it may be running on this for a little bit. When it comes back and it has all of the DTCs for me, we'll review those DTCs and see if one of them has to do with the brake light input switch or brake light switch input. And if it does, then I'm going to replace it. Some of you may be saying, well, hey Eric, why don't you test it? And you know what, we may take it over the bench and test it after the fact. I'm actually stepped on the brakes a couple of times and it's working now. Yeah, see, it's working now. Of course it's working now that I'm trying to shoot a video. It seems to be an intermittent failure, but these are a known problem on Hondas of this vintage, not just on this particular vehicle. So if you do have brake lights that aren't working, you can't get it out of park, first check to see if it's properly adjusted. I will go over how to properly adjust the switch when I install it. And we're back. We got some DTCs. Let's have a look. Well, okay then. What do we have here? We have no diagnostic trouble codes for the engine. Global OBD2, there was an error in communication, not worried about that. Transmission, no codes. ABS, battery voltage malfunction, right there. There's the money shot. Brake switch malfunction. Wrong size of tire. I looked at all the tires, they're all the same size. Maybe they put the spare on or something like that for a period of time, not real sure. Tire pressure monitors. Obviously we've had a history of leaving the tires low. Seatbelt buckle switch. If you come up with one of these codes, take it to the dealer, because the seatbelt buckles for Hondas, actually most vehicles, are warranted for life. So if you come up with something like that, take it to the dealer and have them check that out. Occupant position detection. Once again, the seatbelt buckle switch. Common failure on this model. And once again, covered under warranty for the life of the vehicle. So that's what I would do with that. Combination switch, hands-free phone, instrument panel. I mean, it really did give me all the codes, but the one I'm most interested in is right here. Brake switch malfunction, brake switch fail. It just comes up with that, brake switch fail. It's absolute. Let's see, battery voltage. I checked the battery and I checked its voltage also. Quite a bit of experience with these vehicles. They have been known for brake switch problems. So let's, and the thing of it is the brake lights are actually working now. So it's an intermittent failure, which makes it really hard to diagnose. But the fact that I had those issues the other day and the brake lights were not working, I'm gonna replace the brake light switch. All right, I'm gonna clear these codes and then we will replace the brake light switch and see if we have any issues after that. Okay, well here is the Honda part number. This crosses over from Honda or Acura. You can use this number for the switch. As I said, this is a common problem on Hondas of this vintage. Okay, here we are up under the dash. There's a sort of a panel here that you can sort of pull down. It's clipped in. See these clips? And there's a light on this model, so be careful of that. You can just unplug it. Here is our prize. You can just simply unplug it, twist counterclockwise, and it comes right out. This doesn't even require the use of tools. It does come with a new mount. If this gets stripped out, as I said before, if it's not in the correct position, if that happens, you can replace it. It comes with a new one of these that you can just clip into place. You can see it's just clipped on like that. I am not going to do that. Now the important thing is, you notice that there's a stop right here. When you install this, you want to make sure that this is bottomed out like so. Don't make it so you push on it to where the brake pedal is actually moving. Just make it so that it's bottomed out and then twist it and then you're in place. Insert it. Let it bottom out until it touches. Give it a twist. Plug it in. You're done. All right, one more time for your benefit. Push it down in, bottom it out, and then switch it. And it's okay if there's just a little bit there as long as the brake lights are off. But as I said, you don't want to push it down so that you're actually pushing the brake pedal forward. You just want it just like it is there. That's all you need. Well, we verified that the brake lights work. We know our switch is correctly in position. Reconnect our electrical connection for our mood lighting. There's that peg back here. You can't really see, but I showed it to you before. There's a little hook on the back of this, right where my finger is here, that you need to hook up over that. Then what I do is I will push it up underneath here. It's flexible enough to do so. And then once you get it past a certain point, they will sort of click into place. Okay, maybe it's better to start at the front. There we go. And then hook it in the back, and you're done. It really was that easy. It didn't even require the use of tools other than the scan tool. Pretty simple. Okay, because I know somebody is bound to ask, Eric, how do you know the brake light switch is bad? Or what's inside that brake light switch? Or give us more information. That video is too short. Okay, why don't we take this old brake light switch apart? Contacts all look pretty good. You can see the contacts come up in like this, and there's a couple of different contacts in there. This also is an input to the cruise control, besides the brake lights, and as you saw, the ABS and everything else. Maybe it just gets old, warped, what have you. Not really sure. Yeah, it looks like this part here is up inside here, and there's contacts inside here. You ride back and forth. Contact inside here is when the brakes are off, but then when it comes all the way extended like this, this is where it makes contact. So I would say that it would be these contacts in here that probably aren't, that are intermittently making contact up in this area. I would say that that's most likely the issue. Repairable or not, I do not know. I don't think so.
Besides, it's a $12 part, and you saw how easy it was to replace. Why mess around? Why not just be done?
It's amazing how one cheap little switch can turn on so many lights on the dash, but everything's tied into everything these days. Every system talks to every other system, and well, this is what you get. Bunch of lights on the dash when a brake light switch fails. If you pull the codes and you do have a brake light switch failure, I would go there. As far as that battery voltage thing, I would also check that. This recently had a battery replaced that I can see, so I think that battery failed at some point. Low voltage can set all kinds of codes, so if you do see a battery voltage code, check the battery first and make sure that's working. I told you about my clues as far as determining the brake light switch was a very likely culprit based on the inability to get it out of park. And also the brake lights weren't working. As I said, common failure on Hondas of this vintage using that particular style of brake light switch. Good thing is, it's cheap and easy to replace. Don't even need tools, come on. It's just extremely important that you install it correctly. And as I said, you don't want the brake pedal coming into contact with the switch and actually stopping at the switch. You want the switch to make contact as the brake pedal reaches the top of its travel. That way you'll prevent damage to that switch. It's kind of delicate. As you saw, it's also cheap. Codes are cleared, and it seems to be better now. Brake lights are working consistently, and I believe they will continue to do so from this point forward. If you have automotive questions outside of what was addressed in this video, I would ask that you head over to EricTheCarGuy.com, where there is a welcome video to tell you about all the wonderful features we have at EricTheCarGuy.com to help you with automotive issues. Eric the Car Guy videos come out every Friday, so look for me on Fridays. And if you wish to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And I close each of my videos with be safe, have fun, and stay dirty. I will see you next time.